Hello, this is me, Sam here from WoopaGaming, and today I'm going to do a little tutorial series on the Multiverse group of plugins. So today we're going to be starting with Multiverse Core. We're also going to be doing tutorials on the portals, nether portals, sign portals, the inventories, and all the plugins that are associated with the Multiverse world management plugin set. So today we're starting with Multiverse Core, which is the core plugin. You will require this for all the other plugins we're going to go over. A little bit about what Multiverse is. So Multiverse was pretty much, well, as soon as Bucket had multi-world support, Multiverse was on it and made this plugin, and basically allows you to add new worlds to your server. You're probably familiar about it in some form or another. So obviously default Minecraft just has survival world, netherworld, end world. What this allows you to do is create new worlds for your server. So you can have two survival worlds, for instance. You could have a nether world which is generated slightly differently. You can have an empty creative world. You can generate it completely flat. And we'll be going over this sort of stuff in today's tutorial, how you can integrate generators and stuff. I will just tell you the authors. There's quite a few. Obviously you've got the Multiverse team. You've got Fern Ferret, TWSS, Yesterday, Dump Truckman, Rigby90, Lithium 3141 and main __. So they're the contributors. Obviously there's been quite a few over the years. This plugin has been around for a good long time. We have done a video, but this is an updated video. I'm just going to go over more features, I guess. So obviously if you're already familiar with Multiverse, you might be thinking, oh, this might be a bit useless tutorial, but I will go over some of the commands that you might not be too familiar about, and we can go over that, and we'll show you those features. So the first thing I want to do is, what I'm going to do is create a new world. I think that's the easiest thing. So if you just do /mv, you get a list of all the commands. There's 5 pages of commands. We're not going to go over all of them, but we're going to go over the main ones that are actually going to come in useful. So the first one I want to do is the create one. So it's mv create, and now we have the name of our world, so we can call this absolutely anything. And this would literally just be the directory name in our server file. So let's just call this Woopa, just for convenience's sake. And now we have the environment. This is also a needed parameter. And we have 3 different ones. We have normal, and nether, and I also believe end are the 3 environments you can have. There is a way you can do that. I think if you do mv-env, there you go, you can see all the valid environments are. So normal, nether, and end. And you've also got new ones here, normal, flat, or version _1 _1. So they're the world types. But let's do mv create. So mv create Woopa, and we'll just have a normal world for now. Okay. And we can also specify a seed and a generator. I will come back to generators later, but I will do the seed now. So for seed, you just do -s, and then you can specify a seed, like 1, 2, 3, for instance. Now, just one thing to note: you don't obviously have to require a seed parameter. If you don't, it will just randomly generate you a random seed. But by doing that, we have a seed. So if you have a certain one, then you can do it like that. Okay. So if we hit enter now, it will start creation of the world. If you look on the config, look at the console, it will show it creating the world, and that might take a while, obviously, because it has to set up the spawn. And now it says complete. So excellent, we've got a new world. So now let's teleport there to see what it looks like. And the way we do that is by doing mv tp and then the world name. So we call it Woopa. So mv tp Woopa will do the job just fine. Oh, we've got a nice little gravel. Whoa, that's a gravel mountain over here. Let's just switch to game mode 1. As you can see now, we're in our new world. Now this is meant to be a default Minecraft generator. Very interesting one, I have to say. Lots of gravel here. But yeah, there you go. This is just a normal generated world with the name Woopa. So we've created a new server, a new world. So we've got our default world, we've got our nether, we've got end, but we've also got this one too. So this just uses default Minecraft generation, which I'm not sure it is on my computer. but it should give you default. So that's that. I guess that's the seed actually. I didn't have 1, 2, 3. That was probably a dodgy seed to use. Anyway, moving on, we can do some things to this world. So obviously when we did MVTP, that teleported us to the world, but it just teleported us to the spawn of that world. What if we wanted to change it? So for instance, I want the spawn to be here, in this area here. All I have to do is very simply do an MV set spawn, and boom, there we go, spawn was set to this location here. So now when I do MVTP and then the world name, which was Woopa, I teleport into the location. And obviously if I had /spawn installed, I'm not sure I'd do. So it will teleport you to this world, that spawn location there. The reason it teleported to a different world was I didn't set up essentials with this world. But that's that. Next command is mvinfo, and that will give you a little information about the world you're currently in. So you got the world name. This is actually what it's called. So Woopa, and the world alias. So this, you can rename this. So you can have the actual the directory name as Woopa, but you can change the alias to anything you like, and then we'll go over that in a bit. You've got the game modes, so survival, obviously, by default. The difficulty, you've got the spawn location, the world scale. You can set all sorts of things like the price to enter. Let's just go to page 2 by doing mvinfo2. You'll see other things like normal, the structures, the weather, and whatnot. We can see all this. Obviously, it has lots of settings that we can see about. See, for some reason, page 4 of 4 is exactly the same as page 3 of 4. I think it's just a bug. But you can see there, you've got lots of settings, and you can configure lots of different things about this world, and we will go over that in a second. I will just go over some other commands just while we're on the info sort of side of it. So mv coord. I think I spelled coord though. So this just tells you a bit about your current location. So it tells you coordinates, tells you which direction you're facing. So I'm facing west, what block you're in, and that sort of information. Tells you about your local coordinates. We also got MV list, which has a list of all the currently loaded and imported worlds. So here we have the Woopa world, which we're on in a moment, and then the 3 default worlds: World Nether, World, and World the End. We can see also here the type of world it is. So the environment here: Nether, Normal, and the End. Okay, so that's that. We also have MV Who, which also just is sort of like list, I guess. Will tell you all the players in that world specifically though. So it will, with MV or /list with essentials, you just have the connected players in the entire server. With MV Who, you get to see the entire server. Like for instance, Samki is on the Woopa world, and if I had other people, then they would show what world they're in too. We can sort of specify the actual world by doing MV Who and then the actual world. So for instance, I can just do MV Who world, and it will show you the entire player list on that world. At the moment there's none, so it doesn't have any. Okay. What else we've got? So we've got, obviously I've covered MV spawn. So yeah, well I did spawn, which is essentials. But MV Multiverse has a MV spawn, so you can just do MV spawn if you want to spawn in that world spawn. So just to differentiate this from /spawn is with essentials, and it will teleport you to the I guess the server spawn, and obviously that depends on the essentials config. But with MV spawn, you spawn to that individual's world spawn. So if I went to the Nether, so MV TP world Nether, here's the spawn for Nether over there where I just teleported. If I did MV spawn, I get teleported to this world spawn, and it tells you there, teleporting to this world spawn. Okay, so let's just go back to Woopa just because it's a bit lighter. Okay, so we're going to be covering over the modify commands and whatnot. So here it allows us to sort of modify the world we're in and change certain properties about it. It's quite handy because you don't have to go into the config, obviously, to edit stuff. So if we do /mv modify, we should have a nice little help info about what modify does. So here you can see it modifies various aspects of the world, and obviously you have to add them, set them, clear them, or remove them. And it tells you the aliases and permissions. So let's start with set. So mv modify set ? And this tells you the things you can set. So we can set the mode of the world. So we've got creative, adventure, and survival. We can set whether or not animals spawn. We can set whether monsters spawn. We can set the alias. So let's just set the alias because that's quite a handy one. So mv modify. I'm going to type it out for you just to show you. Mv modify set the alias. Just to show you. Let's call it. I'm not sure if we can use color codes. That's an interesting thing. I'm not entirely sure. I think we can. Let's try it. Let's try it. So let's just do a nice red color. And we'll just call it Woopa World. Okay, so it doesn't do color codes. We'll have a try. I think there are certain properties you can do. But yeah, okay. We can set the color of it, so I'll just show you that. So that sets the alias. So when we do mv info, you can see now the world alias is &c Woopa World. It doesn't do color codes, just to let you know. Try it while recording. Good one, Sam. We can change the actual color. So when we do info mv list, you can see that it has no color. We can set that by doing mv modify, shorten down to mvm, set the color. That's the American spelling, and then we got a choice of colors. You type them in all caps. There is a list on the wiki. So I'm just gonna go blue. So the property color was set to blue. Hopefully now we do list now. You can see that the actual color is blue. So that's how you would change the color rather than doing color codes like I tried to do stupidly there. Okay, let's just go over a few more set commands just so you get an idea. So obviously you have mvm set and then the property. So there's a nice pig. He's come over. Say hello. Let's set animals to false just because of that. So the property here is animals, and then we have the type. So it's a boolean, true or false. So set it to false. Set it to false. It will kill all the animals in the world, and it will not let them spawn. So that's how we can turn animals on and off. We can also set it to true again to allow them to spawn, and obviously that might come back, might not. We shall see. Okay, we'll do a couple more things. We'll do the I guess we'll do PvP. I guess we'll do the game mode. So mvm set mode creative. Now it's set with creative. So now if I you notice that when I went to the world, I was automatically put in survival mode, even if I was in game mode 1, and it will change players to be in creative. So everyone who joins it will be able to, spawn items and destroy stuff like so. Just go over one more thing, I guess, the difficulty and whatnot. So mv diff, mvm set diff, and then obviously you've got 3 possible values: peaceful, easy, normal, or hard. At the moment it's on easy, but set to 3 just for hard. Okay, so obviously there's a lot more things you can do. The alias of the name, the color, whether or not you want to spawn animals, whether you want to spawn monsters, PvP on this world, the scaling of this world, the price, or how much it costs to enter. So the 0 for free, and anything else will be good. And if you have a negative value, then it actually pays you to do it. You can also set the currency, so you can have a, if you're using a currency which is diamonds, then you can set it, the currency is that. So mvm set, and then currency, and then the item ID. I don't know what diamonds are, 264 or something, I think. So instead of using the currency system, you can do that. But if you are using a currency system like economy plugin, just set it to -1. Respawn, so whether you can either can spawn, can you use and respawn. We covered the game mode, the difficulty, and you can also have weather as well. So there's quite a few things you can add and set, and this works very similar the thing. So that's like the global thing. Now let's just go over slightly more things. So when we did MV question mark, you can see that that's what we did when we set. We'd also add and remove stuff as well. So let's just quickly go over this. So MVM, let's start with add, I guess. And then we can add a value to a property in certain worlds. So for example, we can add creepers to the monsters of this world I'm in. So MVM add creeper monster. You can't add too much stuff. Please with it. Oh, there's interesting. Apparently you can't add monsters. Silly. Okay, there we go. So creeper was added to monsters. So obviously there's a list of monsters that can spawn, and when I did MVM set monsters to false, then all those monsters will not spawn. So in a way I could add pigs to this monsters, and it will stop the pigs from spawning if I set monsters to false but still had animals on, if that makes any sense. And I can do the reverse by doing MVM remove creeper monsters, and there we go, creepers removed from monsters, so it's not in the list. So that's what you can do. The only three things you can do really with this one are add and delete animals to this list, and you can world blacklist as well. So what worlds you can't go from here. So for instance, I could do MVM set world nether world blacklist. So you can't set. So it's set, not add. There we go. So now I've added that to the world blacklist. So basically, if I want to teleport to the world nether, I should be able to. I won't show you that because of my permissions will probably override it. But normal players will not be able to go to the nether from this world. So you can kind of force a linear sort of world progression if you really wanted to by using this world blacklist. And also we've got clear as well. So if we wanted to clear the world blacklist, so I messed up, for instance, I want to clear it, just MVM clear and then world blacklist, and now it just clears the entire list and just has 0 values there. Okay, and you can do that same thing with animals and monsters, just like we did before, just to show you. Okay, so I think that's a lot about the modifier things. We also have this purge command. So obviously, like we have like butcher with other plugins. We can do a similar thing. So mv purge all, and what that'll do, it'll just remove all entities from this world. So it helps if I might spawn something. Spawn is a bit like this. Choose something nice. And go on everything. Pig. There we go. There's a nice pig. If we do mv purge all, it will remove all the entities from the thing. So that includes, I believe it also includes minecarts and boats. I also put some rail down. So let's just see this now. mv purge all. Okay, it doesn't include minecarts. I guess it does animals, monsters, and that's it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It just does animals and monsters. You can specify, so mv purge what type of animals. So mv purge, for instance, I don't know, pig. It will remove all the pigs from this current world, like so. Boom. And you can specify more than one, but I don't know. You can comment a pig, cow, zombie, that sort of stuff. You can also specify the world by doing mv purge and then say the world, so just mv purge world, pig, cow, zombie, and that will remove it from the world. So you don't have to keep teleporting worlds in order to use these commands all the time. Okay, so that's the purge command. So like butcher, I guess, if you want to save some space, you can do that. We also have mv unload. So for this, I'm going to tell back to world, and we're going to set up the day. So what I'm going to do now is let's just set this one here. We're going to unload the world. So mv unload, just to show you a bit of information about it. So it just requires one argument, which is mv unload. So mv unload Woopa, and that'll take some time, a little bit of time, and it will unload the world Woopa. So now it's not loaded in the game. So we've saved some space by not having this world loaded, and it's quite a useful feature to have, because we can unload and load worlds with ease. So maybe if we wanted just a you know, just an adventure world, just for like a one-off, we can put it on and then unload it on the fly almost. Okay, so now if, for instance, we try to teleport to it, so mvtp Woopa, it does not know how to take you there because it's not loaded. And I believe the command to load it again is mv load. Yeah, so you can load it again, like so. We're not actually going to do that because I want to show you how to delete worlds and stuff. So the way we do that is by doing mv delete or mv remove. I believe they do the same thing. I think, actually, mv remove unloads the world and then removes the mv configs. But the delete command will remove it from the mv configs and will delete the world folder. So there's two different things. So remove basically removes it from Multiverse, but delete removes it entirely. So that will delete your world folder. So for this instance, we're just going to use remove, just so we have the world folder still in it. So mv remove Woopa, and that wasn't there. Maybe if we just load it again, that will help. So mv load Woopa, it will load the world Woopa, and if we remove it again, there we go. So we removed it from the config now. So now Multiverse does not even know that Woopa has ever existed, and whatnot. So we have to do mv list, for instance. You can see Multiverse does not know about this world. It literally exists as a file, like the world jet folder in the main server directory, and nowhere else. Okay, so that's removed. The delete one would actually delete the file, and the reason I haven't done this is for the next one, which is mv import. And this is really handy command, because it allows you to import worlds without having to reload the server all the time. So you can just place a world in. So for instance, I've just placed the Woopa world in, hypothetically. So there is a folder in my server directory called Woopa, and it has the world generation of Woopa and whatnot. But obviously Multiverse does not know about this. And the way to import it is very simple. Just do mv import the name, so we'll call it Woopa. Obviously it has to match up with the name, and obviously it's normal too. And again, we can specify the stuff like the seed, and we can specify the generator. Actually, do we have to specify the seed? I'm not too sure about that one. I think I don't think we have to. No, we don't. I think it picks it up from the actual thing. But yeah, the generator you can do here, and you have to specify that. Okay, so we import Woopa. It'll take some time. Okay, it didn't, but it imported again. So then we do mv list. We can see here Woopa has been brought back. We've uploaded it again. So if we mvtp Woopa, here we go. So one thing you might notice, like here, Woopa is not in blue and it doesn't have our weird alias anymore. That's because that was on the Multiverse config side of it, and obviously we deleted all that. So the actual file doesn't have this sort of information about it. So everything reset about the lists and stuff will all just be reset, like the currency and all that in the modify command section will be reset. So just to let you know about that. So it's not a great idea to remove stuff off the Multiverse config. If you want to bring it back, I recommend just unloading it if you want to save space. Okay, so that's the import. I did say I was going to cover over a custom generator, so I'll just do that now. So mv create, and we're going to have call it plotme. Now plotme is a world generation plugin by Zach Borer. It's probably one of the most popular world generation plugins out there. We have done a video tutorial on it, so feel free to search it. But I'm just going to use this as a good example on how to have a generator. So mv create plotme. It's going to be normal type, and then to have a generator, we're going to have a -g, and then the plugin name. So it's plotme. It's very simple. So it's just a starting creation of world plotme and complete. Now hopefully this has worked. So mvtp plotme. I'm not too sure. Yep. Okay. Cool. So as you can see here, this is the world generation of plotme. It creates these plots for players to build on, and you will have to configure the actual plotme for this to work. I don't think it's registered. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so plotme claim, I'm not sure will work. Yeah, so you have to edit the configs for plotme to say that this is a world now. But apart from that, it does generate this world as required. You don't have to use plotme, obviously. You can use any generation plugin, and you just do it exactly the same. Just put in the world name. Occasionally, some of them will have requirements. I think like Banana Gen has certain aspects to it. But if you're interested in that, it should tell you on the Banana Gen the actual server description, I guess. Okay, so hopefully I've gone over the main sort of commands. Obviously there's a lot of set commands and stuff, and I haven't gone over the config, and I will do that in the next part. But hopefully you've seen and got a good insight of what you can actually do with Multiverse. Maybe things you didn't know before, especially like the purge command. Before researching this, I didn't actually know about the purge command, and I was getting another plugin to do that. But now that it's in Multiverse, it's quite handy to have that sort of ability. But yeah, it's a great little plugin. I say little, right? It's a great plugin, and it's what we used back when we had our server. We were dealing with multiple worlds. It works with charm, and especially with the unloading and loading so quickly. I mean, this world was generated, whilst in game. I didn't have to restart the server, so it's very handy and works with charm. So yeah, in the next part I'll go over the installation, a bit about the configs. Be very similar, I guess, to the modify, but I might have some information, a bit more about that in that tutorial. Okay, so thanks for watching. This has been me, Sam from WoopaGaming, signing out.